Hello, this reading is for Gemini. This is your end of the month. I did draw some of your cards already because I know that I don't have much storage. So upon drawing your cards, this card is the uniting with the angelic self, and I pulled the cards for. We got useless, so it's basically about people trying to overpower you with their ideas or trying to make you believe what they want you to believe. The word I got was conform. So these are people who want you to conform to the ways of the world. But it says that you have a lot of courage. So that's not going to actually happen. Like, you're okay with being yourself and being free with who you want to be. But this situation has allowed you to unite with your truth and unite with who you are personally. Not letting them. So there's just people that were trying to overpower you with their ideas, the way they thought you should be or the way they thought you were. But this is also a helper. So at the end of this, there is going to be help for you. So it's useless for people to try to overpower you, or if they knock your ideas, say your ideas are not good enough. You do have people that actually think your ideas are awesome and you have help. Now, I turned the camera on because while I was reading this one, it was the rising sun and child reborn. You have the hacker, you have the journalist, and you have clarity. So I wanted to make sure that you hear me explain it like while I'm in the reading rather than coming back to recite it to you. That's the hacker and the journalist. So they were saying that people are watching your rebirth because this is something reborn. People are watching you like the phoenix rising almost, being reborn, but they're also talking about it and they have clarity. So what they were saying, people having clarity over the cycles that you've gone through and why you were the way you were or why you did the things you did, because it was a part of your rebirth. So just be mindful that people have acknowledged that you have grown in some way, form, or fashion. But this is not, look at this. This is not just about you growing. This is about them acknowledging having clarity that you've grown and having clarity over why you were the way you were, because you were still going through your rebirth or whatnot. But that's them admiring you for taking on that journey and being able to go through it. They have clarity. So if people are confused about you and not really knowing why you were doing things the way you wanted to, why you didn't want to conform to them, they understand now, oh, Gemini just thinks for themselves. So they understand Gemini was going through a real process at that time. So they could be anything. If you didn't want to go to a party, if you didn't want to do this, if you didn't want to do that, they understand now you were going through your own. So they might have blamed you in certain situations, but you were going through your own process. But we have clarity. The reason why I had to cut, because it's like people understanding you and having clear understanding of why. So they were stalking you or wondering or pressing you, and now they're taking the time to understand, oh, wow, we know what Gemini just went through. They went through a rebirth. But that's them also wanting your attention and wanting to tell you that they see what you have gone through or see how you have changed. Even if they weren't there for what you went through, they're witnessing your change and your growth and they're saying come up and your come up. So what's the pyramid of light? Deeper into love, dominion. So that's like you being protected when it comes to your love. Like you may be protective over your lovers. You may be just protective over people that you love. But that's also giving back to you. That's also giving back to you the protection of your heart, protection of love in general. We can see if we can get another one. And they could be understanding why you were so protective over your heart. It really had nothing to do, not to say it didn't have nothing to do with them, but it's like because you know how deep love goes for you and how that's going to affect you if you go into a deep love. I carry a deep love for a person and something like this happens. So you just protect yourself so that you don't fall into those same pitfalls and those traps. And so they didn't understand that. So what's for Eye of Horus? What can we get for Eye of Horus? Yeah, I was going to just do y'all reading and then just tell y'all what it was about. But then they was like turning on because this right here, this part was important about the people seeing you and acknowledging your growth or whatnot. Even if you feel like people don't see it, just know that they see it. This is awakening divine perception. This is the sun. This is the filmmaker. This is more people, y'all. This is more people that see how you have changed. But these are people who make things look a certain way. This is the filmmaker. So these people may have been not clear about their perception of you. But you guys already know that people judge you a lot. And it's probably not nothing nobody want to deal with. But you have to think about the way they see things in their eyesight. Is different from yours. So that's why they will go and do things of that nature. But this is the sun. So this is them wanting to be involved with you again. They want to be involved with you again. I don't know if you want to, but that's a lot of people. This could be people from your past. This could be people from your workplace. This could just be people in society. They want to be with you again. They're like, okay, we see Gemini. We couldn't see. These are people like Gemini we couldn't see. Even though you may have shown it to them plain and simple. You may drew a map. Listen, this is what this means. They still didn't see it because they had the filmmaker mentality, which is making something look a certain way. But now they're awakened. So this is not just about you. Like, your rebirth awakened some people. This could have been some people in the background. Could have been some people going against you. Could have been your family. It awakened some people. So that's why they're like, oh, we still got to stay connected to Gemini no matter what, no matter how Gemini does things, no matter how they fought the him. These are people who wanted to compromise your integrity at first and overpower you, because this is the ideal card and this is the power, but useless is on top of that. This is futility. It doesn't work that way. Not in this lifetime. So it's like them being awakened by your rebirth or your ability to stand strong on who you are. It has awakened them to show them the other side of light. That's the sun. Show them the beauty that's within us all. These were dark people, because all it is dark, or having dark tendencies. And they're just not beginning to see that, hey, we can do better. I'm about to say, this starts with Gemini. They're realizing that they can do better. I understand, realize they can do better. It's like it starts with Gemini. Like, we got to do better. Like, you did something to make them notice. Like, certain people ain't going to notice. They ain't going to care. And if somebody else would have did it or said it, they wasn't going to get it. But your rebirth and how you did it has awakened these people. These are people who probably were still spiritually asleep. Spiritually dead. What's for Pillar of Light? That's the victory card. It wanted to come out. Descent of the Star of Isis. Let me So yeah, Gemini, that's real good. The other two cards you have is Goddess of 10,000 Names and the Lunar Queen. This is the Seducer. This peace. So people are trying to seduce peace. When I see seducing, somebody's trying to bring something about. So your light, or just beware of people. They're trying to bring peace into your life, but peace into the way they handle you, the situations they have gone on. So hopefully you have forgiven them and there is no hard feelings, because these people are trying to bring you into peace with them. So you might be peaceful on your own, but their way of seeing it, because remember, we have the filmmaker, their way of seeing it is that we can be peaceful together. Because you have the deep love. So these are people that you loved once before. So they know how deep your love goes. And they know how strong you love. And they might just miss that. Like, I miss the Gemini being there, because Gemini would come through. Or I miss Gemini being there because Gemini made me feel good. So it's like you protecting your heart from them. They don't like that. They want to be a part of that. But they also understand the consequences of what they've done has allowed you to be protective over yourself. But they have watched you grow. And they want you back. So that's pretty much what I got for you, Gemini. Because underneath that was the Goddess of the 10,000 Names, the High Priestess, and the Lunar Queen. But on top of that, this and the Wings of Isis came out. So I put it right there. So all of this could be connected. But the 10,000 Names, that's a lot of people who, what do they even say, owe you an apology? There's a lot of people who owe you an apology, but these people don't want to just apologize. Like, they want to bring about the peace and the sun with you, but it's like they know why they're apologizing. Because, some people apologize and don't know why they're apologizing. I'm just going to say I'm sorry to get it over with. These people have watched you. They have studied you. They have tried to get your attention. They have gained clarity. So the people that were watching you and judging you and saying things and doing, they have clarity now. Like, wow, Gemini was here to teach. These are people who thought they were teaching you a lesson. You were actually teaching them one without teaching them. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't at the chalkboard writing down the notes and shit, but you actually taught them a lesson. Without your chalkboard, without your teacher's pen, you taught them a lesson. So they understand and they're like, wow, we thought we was teaching Gemini a lesson because it's the ideas and the power. These are people who are idealistic and they, do things on their own terms. But the problem was they were trying to get you to follow their program, follow their plan. And you wasn't having it. Or you know better than to do that. Because the word they gave me was conform. These people wanted you to conform. Do not conform to the things of this world. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. But they realized that it was useless because on top of that is that it was useless, unnecessary. But I will say there's a lot of people who are watching you and they know that you embody some light. But also they know that their perception of you was off. That's awakening divine perception. They was looking at you through the darkness of their eyes. I said that though. They look at you with the ugliness that's in their soul or in their eyes and try to make that out to be you. But that's their vision fucked up. Y'all see the filmmaker? My vision ain't fucked up. He trying to figure out, okay, let me look at it this way, let me look at it that way. So there's just people they was looking at so many ways because they didn't have that they didn't have that divine perception, the eye of Horus. They was trying to look at it every angle. How can we get this? And then that divine perception kicked in. They're like, oh, seeing it for what it really is. And that's the sun. Seeing you for who you really are. After analyzing it so many ways. So I'll give them that. I guess they tried to look at it from every angle that they could look at it. That's a long time to be trying to figure something out. Or a lot of time put into figuring it. I don't know why they wanted to figure you out, Gemini, but they did. The hacker that's watching you and everything to figure you out, but now they have clarity. But I guess you do have to be thankful that they came to some type of resolve, some type of understanding, some type of clarity that, okay, we shouldn't have done this to Gemini. So the whole time while they were trying to figure you out, they figured out that they had some issues. I'm not going to say that, Lord. They had some issues to push through as well. The whole time they were judging you, they had some judgmental ways about themselves that they weren't acknowledging. The whole time they felt like something was wrong with you, they didn't realize that they had something wrong with them. So, like, dude, what they say is the kettle calling the pot black. Don't do that. It's just kettles out here calling the pot black. That's crazy. Don't do that. But they do want peace with you. What can I get for Gemini for the angel message or whatever? So that's a lot of people that want to make things right for you, with you. But I said there could be people from your past. There could be people from your workplace. They could be, there could be people 10 years ago. People from 10 years ago. And I did say that's a lot of time to try to figure something out. I guess it took them 10 years to try to figure out who you were. It say you are loved. That's what you have, that deep love. So you being protective over your lovers, or you having that deep love, or showing them what love really is, that's granted you the right to be loved back. You're supposed to be loved back anyway, but because you're loving, and these people do love you, they do love you, but you also have health. So these are people who maybe have mental health issues. And that's why they was looking at it the way they were. Because when your mind thinks how it wants to think, you can look at things in an inappropriate way or in a way that is not presented. That's why I said at first the sun is showing them what it really is. So they did not know. But in their defense, they had that mental thing going on with them. But it's also over the love. So that's knowing that you have like a good heart and that love is a healing thing. So these people feel like being connected to you is like their way of having good health. You know what, y'all? That's like an moment. It's like an omen to them. If I can get back with Gemini, then I know that I've changed, or I know I'm a better person. I know the Lord loves me, if he lets me back in Gemini's prison. So it's like almost like them doing all that to you to antagonize or whatever, and you didn't break or didn't fold or didn't compromise. They made them realize, oh, okay, it's us. They need to change, or oh, okay, it's me. They need to change. But in doing so, it's making them look at it like, okay, in order for me to know it's that I'm on the right track, I'm on the right path, Gemini has to accept me. So they're basing their growth or their change off of whether you accept them or not. I don't know if you should do that, but that's how they're basing it off of. If Gemini talks to me again, if Gemini forgives me, then I know I've changed and I know that I've been graced by the Lord. So that's beautiful for people to, certain people basing it off of that because they understand now. So that's why I have you, Gemini. I do love you. I do pray that you have an amazing week. This was your end of March reading, and like I said, I read it. I put the cards out and read a little bit into it before, just to save time. But this part stopped me right here to let you guys know that those people that were watching you are saying whatever, they have clarity now. So I do love you, Gemini. I pray you have an amazing week.